Welcome back to Maverick How To. Today we're going to install the Segway Villain SX10 lower doors. That's what they look like before. Let's see what we get into here. These are pretty much the basic tools you're going to need. Ratchet, number 13 millimeter socket, Phillips head screwdriver. If you want to use power tools, the socket extension, that's okay. And a number 5 Allen wrench with the socket attachment there. And later I'll show you some of the other things you're going to need, but basic tools. So let's get at it. First thing we're going to do is remove the door. Yes, you do have to pull the door off. It makes it 10 times easier, and I'll show you why as we go. Here's where the number 13 socket works perfectly. You're going to want to save these. Do not discard them. You will be reusing them. The door is light, but if you have someone to help you, that'd be great. Oh, have to pick that one up. If you don't have a hand, that's okay. They don't weigh very much. There's nothing to hold them here, so make sure you find a place to put them that is safe. Okay, the next step is there is 9 of these bolts that need taken out. They will be using the number 5 Allen wrench. I'll show you here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 7, 8, and 9. All right, and that will take off the finished outer shell of the door. I would recommend putting it on tablecloth here, something to keep from scratching it. Make sure to save these. If you want to pull them out using a ratchet, you can. Personally, I like using this for the speed. When you put them back in, I definitely would say use a ratchet. So you don't strip anything out. Okay, for the record, yes, you will be reusing all hardware. All those bolts will be reused when we put it all back together. Next thing you're going to need is the Phillips head screwdriver. You can use it on a power tool, or you can take them out by hand. Also, when you put them back together, I would say use it by hand, just because you don't want to strip them out. They are going into plastic. There is 10 of those to remove. Put on a little extension there. you're like me and you didn't really find any good directions online on how to do this, watched a couple other videos, read some forums and whatnot. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. For anybody that needs a couple tips, in Maverick How To, we do just about anything here. Okay, that's on there and that is removed. So now I'm going to pop this off. It's just in there with some clips. Now this we're going to put off to the side, somewhere where it doesn't get scratched. We won't need it for a while. Okay, for the next part, we're going to pull these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. To take the metal frame off of the door. Start with the latch. Of course, save all your hardware. You will need it. You're going to pull your latch out, and yes, you better save that, or you won't be getting in your door unless you're doing the Dukes of Hazzard style. Okay, the frame. We're going to set this off to the side here. And your latch off to the side. Okay, so this model is a 2024, and the later generation 2023s utilizes a different style of attachment for the door. The hardware comes for anything. The early 2023 and 2022 models would use some of the extra hardware, but the later 2023 and 2024 models have some extra things here so you don't have to do all the work. No templates. They already have it set up here. This one, that one, that one. So we're going to be removing these 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Here, this is the finished right here. This side is where you want it. You're just going to use a Dremel, Rotozip, grinder, hunting knife, whatever you want to use, but you got to get those pieces out, so that'll be the next task here. Gonna clean this up a little bit. Yes, it's not the best cut in the world, but it really doesn't matter as long as you're not ruining the integrity of it. You really won't see much of it at the end. A little sandpaper just to clean it up. Well, that's pretty much what I want it to look like here. Oops. And let's do the other big one here. Say, hey, there's an easier way of doing that. Why are you doing it that way? Well, go ahead and do it, because this is just the way I'm going to do it. Alright, last thing we need to do here is this point right here. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Okay, there you have it. 3 pieces removed, ready for install. Okay, one of the things that's not included on the in hardware kit is one of these U-nuts, and they will fit in right here. I'll show you where, but that's what that hole we cut out for. This is what I got here. Just went over to Lowe's. You can give them Home Depot, any hardware store. That's the style extended U-nut, regular 1/4 by 20. And also got a quarter by 20 stainless 3/4 screw. That seems to work good too. The button head, which also Allen wrench. So something you'll want to pick up before install. It adds a little bit of integrity to the middle of the door, a little bit of strength, and you never know what you're going to get into out on the trail, so it doesn't hurt to have a little extra. Okay, we're going to take that U-nut, stick it in here, right where the cutout is. Make sure the hole lines up right. Okay, now we can put the door together. Take your lower door, like so. We're going to stick it in there, just like that. And then I like to take the stainless screw here and run it in here just loosely, just to kind of hold things a little bit lined up. Like I said, it's not mandatory to do this, but I'd see no reason not to. So the kit doesn't come with it, so you have to do it yourself, but I think it definitely helps. All right. Okay, so here's your hardware bag. Things that you won't need all these pieces here because it's for the 2023 early and the 2022. But you will utilize some of the bolts and screws, possibly needing a couple. I can't remember exactly how many, but we'll keep them on the side here because we will be needing them. And then we got the original stock parts here, the bonus parts. Probably not a good place to put them. We'll stick them right there. And these. Okay, at this point in time, we're going to take the frame and line it back up where it goes. Okay, from this point here, I try not to use a power tool, so we don't have to worry about stripping anything out. You're gonna need your two bolts here with the ratchet, number 5, Allen wrench. Get this bracket right here first. Like anything, you know, don't fully tighten anything down yet. You're gonna get stuff in there loose. Make sure things line up, and then you'll know when to get it all tightened down here in a little while, but don't get overexcited. A lot of working parts that line up in this assembly, so you have to be very careful just to make sure that everything lines up right before you tighten anything down. right, then you're going to need 2 more of these, and you're going to put them right here. So you want to be very careful not to strip anything out. Okay, we're going to take our latch that we put aside here, put it back in place. You can see the L is upside down. All right, then you can tighten these 4 back up. Okay, now we're going to take the longer bolts here from the kit. There's 4 of them, 2 here and 2 here. Get them lined up. They're going to be a little more difficult here. Just the nature of them here. Flip it around on the back side. You can almost see exactly how to line them up. Right here is where these screws are going to be coming out of, same as down there. Getting them lined up is a little challenging. All right, so let's get these where they need to be. Like I said, I highly recommend using a ratchet. That way you can kind of feel what you need. Different size there. I'm going to tighten these up. Tighten that up. And finally, the U-nut that I had there. It's a little extra support. Give it a little tightening. Good. That would be it for that part. Okay, so we're going to put bolt in here and here, and in here, and in here for right now. And here's where the extra hardware comes in at. Let me put the other two here. Tight, tight. And that one is tight, and that one is tight. Okay, next thing is there is two screws that need to be run in This I would definitely use a drill for. There is no hole. It's just plastic to plastic. Just don't strip them. Know when to stop. Last one's right here. Okay. Okay. For this part, you can get your door cover here. A lot of points here throughout the whole thing that need to go into the various areas. So I'd start here at the wider end. You'll hear it clip into place. That's what you want. Okay, after you get that snapped in, it's going to probably come a little bit loose. Your remaining bolts, screws, you got to put them in. Said I would use the Phillips screwdriver for this application. I like to go around the perimeter first. So make sure you're holding pressure, that it is tight before you put any screws in. Be very careful when you tighten them down. You don't want to go crazy and strip it. As soon as you feel it get something that ain't going, it's boom, stop. Important to make sure you're sealed up there. Let me get out to here. Making sure you got to get this thing lined up tight. So you'll hear it pop. That's what you need. And screw down here. Okay. That concludes the screws. If you have the kit, you should have three screws left over. Okay, now we're going to install the remaining bolts here. And we got 1, 2, 3 on here, and then we got the 2 for right there. Now keep in mind these might not line up perfectly as they are molds from the factory. You might have to do a little bit of forcing it to get it there. We have a handle that goes there. We got 2 over here, 1 over here, 2 over here. Okay. Okay. The last thing to do is to put these 2 screws in right here. As there is no handle on the driver's side. Okay. Believe it or not, that's it. Okay, at this point now we're going to hang the door. If you have a friend, that'd be great. If you don't, You can do it yourself, as I will. So it just makes it a little easier. It's a little heavier this time with the other door. Yeah, there's middle hole here. This is like a dowel setup for at the factory. They would line the holes up with that. We are going to try to line this hole up with this one, just eyeballing it the best you can. I would run them in by hand just to get them started. All right, so you're going to want to try to line these holes up as close as you can. Okay. Better sight here. These holes, center ones, is what you want to try to line up as long as it's clear the whole way around. That's what we're shooting for. See what happens here. Well, it closed. That's a bonus. Here you go, is the finished product. I think it looks very nice. There is a gap here and on the other passenger side, but you know, we did what we were supposed to do. We put it together. It's not perfectly tight, but I mean, it's going to keep a lot of the mud out. Couldn't ask for a better setup. If you want to be completely mud free, then you're going to need a full cab or stay home. You know, that's not what I'm going for. I don't mind a little mud. Definitely keeps, you know, your legs and stuff, keeps a little bit of the mud out, does help. So overall, you know, we're going to give it a test on the trails here in the next couple months, see how they hold up. But when you're doing this one, which was the driver's side, passenger side is identical. The only difference is it has a grab handle. Where the two bolts are, which you will see that. Other than that, I mean, thanks for watching. Glad I could put this out for you guys if you had any questions. But have a good day. Like and subscribe. And watch every week. There's going to be something different coming out. You never know what. So have a good day.